Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment he made?
I got some bars to these.
Run Ryan
Riot.
And here's the thing, you have players out there.
I think the fellas are taking more serious.
What grade?
That one had to go.
Yes. Because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Hey, good night, and welcome to All In, All United. First game of the season, guys. You know how it feels to, first 3 points of the season that up for grabs. We took it. The Friday night Premier League football. The whole world is looking at that game, and especially United playing. Want to see what United could do this season. And it's one of the biggest teams in the world. I think today definitely would have been a huge audience looking at today's game. And at the end of the day, we end up pulling through the 3 points and all. I mean, in the true Old Trafford, Manchester United, Stratford End style. You know. So JP, tell me how you feel about that, man.
Hey, I happy. I happy. First game for the season. Xerxes come in, score the winner, late winner. I mean, overall performance was good for our first game. So I happy. I happy with what I see and I only see him up from here.
Phil?
Yeah. Good night, everyone. Yeah, as just to echo what Nico said, today was the curtain opener, right? It was the one match that will, I don't want to say define the Premier League, right? But it's more of like, as you said, all eyes are on us tonight, right? And it was a chance to go top of the league, and hey, we are top of the league as of now. I don't wish bad on anybody or anything's, but if monkeypox had a break into the English Premier League tomorrow, and the English Premier League had to finish, I just saying, just give us the trophy, right? But yeah, man.
uh,
I guess we'll touch on some of the performances tonight because there were some performances tonight that were very good, that were a joy to watch. But then there were other performances where you kind of got to step up and not do the same shit you were doing last season, right? So
yeah. And guys on the inside, send your comments. Let me know what your thoughts on the games, on the performances. We're gonna touch on everything, right? So we have Kristen on the inside tonight. Kristen, good night, man. This comment is from Maguire, Colossal. Competition has really make men. You know, yeah, Casemiro was very good again. Yeah, Casemiro say, nah, but don't ship me off to Saudi. I ain't taking that just so, yeah. Um, Arun saying, hey, good night to you, man. Good night, fellas. And we are off 3 points. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we getting straight into it. We getting straight into it because today was a day, and for some reason, especially when you're in the United groups, it has so much negativity now. Everybody, so much pessimism. Just that negative energy. By the time the lineup come out, oh God, Tenag going with this thing again. It is only a favoritism. White is Dillet couldn't play. White is Zersid shouldn't start. And to me, is the manager and his team would know best now. And we who just sitting on the couch and hoping we see a player, we hope, what I mean, to play. That don't mean he in a condition to play, right? So yeah, so some of those groups has really kind of get to you. So saying that, JP, what do you think? Any surprises in the lineup? What do you think about the lineup today?
I think it was to me no surprises really, when I think about it, Maguire to me, I would have expected him to start. I know some people maybe thought that it would start, but
Mhm.
I didn't see it happening. I didn't see that happen. I had a feeling Maguire would have been the one to come to start today. Um, we didn't see Xerxes in the Community Shield, so
Mhm.
I didn't expect him to start either today. So to me, it wasn't any surprises with the lineup at all.
Yeah, and Phil, and I know a big question mark was around Ganacho for Ahmad. In terms of talking about your lineup, maybe you could factor in that as well.
Um, I want to say since last season coming on to the end, Ahmad has shown us what he is possible when he's on the field. During preseason, he showed us what he's capable of doing. So why not reward the guy with a start, right? Um, the lineup today made sense. I think some fans get into the mindset that when you're following some of these social media accounts or you're in some of these United groups, like you have your one mindset to something, but then you see other people. When you see a majority saying one thing, sometimes your mind may shift towards that majority, not fully, but a little bit, right? So I kind of was victim to that. I kind of thought that the lit would have started today, but seeing Harry Maguire start today, I wasn't surprised. Um, put in Mazrari at right back and Dallo at left back made total sense because a lot of people are like, well, Luke Shaw is out, so it's either Amas or Mazrari, right? Mm, you're not wrong, but Mazrari, being in the English Premier League for the first time and being given his debut, it makes sense to play him at right back where he is naturally gifted, right? Playing Dalot at left back, where he has played multiple times for Manchester United over the last couple of years, makes sense as well too,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Um, Casemiro and Kobe Manu. It's funny because it's almost like Casemiro was like seeing some of these transfer rumors because on one end, you're seeing Jadon Sancho is not in the lineup or even in the matchday squad, but then over there in France, you're seeing a midfield by Ugarte, who we're linked with, is not even part of the PSG match day squad, right? Because at the end of the day, we all know Ugarte wants to come to Manchester United. This ain't no Zubamendi to Liverpool bullshit. Um, so I mean, we know this saying that it's iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah.
Us being linked with Ugarte could see the Casemiro that we knew in the first season, right? But I won't continue anymore. The lineup,
Yeah.
in my opinion,
Mm.
makes sense. Ahmad starting made sense to me. Marcus Rashford, boy, we'll touch on him later. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, yeah. For me, I think I would have predicted the lineup in the last review. I spoke about Mazuari coming in because of the fullback issues. Spoke about it would have been maybe a little too early for Gillette, maybe not having a proper preseason, not playing with even going on preseason with Bayern Munich. So it would have been risky one, and then if Maguire was a bit fit, I mean fit enough to play, then and he had a decent game in the Community Shield. I think if he played out the Community Shield, would have won that game, right? He had a decent game in the Community Shield, so it only made sense for me to play Maguire, and really, give that time, to soak in the whole Old Trafford atmosphere, because that atmosphere, it's electric now, and sometimes when you really think of some of these, I mean, most of these professional players, and they should be able to handle the environment and handle the atmosphere. I think going into a new team, into that type of environment, and knowing that the whole world, is more or less wanting you to feel. Because that's how it is at Manchester United. The
Yeah.
the whole world wants us to feel so that they have something to talk about, and going into that, fever pitch kind of high pressure kind of environment would always be to me a bit risky. I think the Mazwari type, as we saw, the composure and the calmness, he was able to play through that, which again, excellent debut, which we would talk about. But I guess to me, the toss up in the lineup would have always been the Ahmad and Ganacho. You know, as JP said, we know that Zertsky didn't play the Community Shield, so he wasn't expecting him to start anyway. So definitely, I think the lineup is what I predicted. You know, I think it was sensible, and no, we were getting to it, but I think some players on the edge of falling out at our first team. You know, and I think Casemiro as well is doing excellent. I don't think he's have a question mark over Casemiro at the moment. And I also think what's helping Casemiro is how the team playing. The team is not playing the open type of football where he had huge amount of gaps to have to close to run down players who were fast. I think the team playing more as a unit, more cohesive, so where we could really, get the best out of Casemiro. Yeah, so let me get some more comments. Hey Kurt, good night man. And good night fellas, GGMU. Right, Mickey on the inside. Good night fellas. 3 points. All the best for the season. Yeah. We want too much a therapy session here, As much as we know it go have some in between, but oh gosh, we ain't white like last season, please. So we taking that all the rest of the next for this season. Even though was one goal, our boys played well. Yes, even though it was one goal, I think we played well. And we could talk about that as well. It could have easily been 3, 4, 5. Okay?
Yep.
Yeah. Richard on the inside. Good night, bros. Hey, good night to you, man. Right? Dixian. Hey, good night to you, Dixian. Good. My boy Monk is showing us why we have invested in him. I'm not sure about that. He closes down plays on players quickly. That could. This cannot be enough.
That's
Yeah. Good. This definitely cannot be enough.
I don't want to sound bad, right? But when Mason Mount on the field, I don't realize or recognize it anymore. And by that I mean when certain players have the ball, I'm like, okay, cool. I get excited. When Mount gets the ball, it's like, okay, cool, whatever, right? If anybody had asked me how Mount plays today, I don't know. I literally don't know.
And he's definitely one of the players.
He had a bubble up chance at Rashford cutting in on the left side in the second half, but other than that, I honestly don't know what Mount will do today. Honestly,
yeah. And I was talking to Reem, and Mount to me is a hybrid of McTominay and Van der Beek. Right? Hey, no, actually, Mount is a hybrid of a McTominay and Van der Beek because full of energy, yes, but you really do nothing. You're all over the place, the game passing you by, like the game too fast for you, everything. I saw Mount was marking a player and the player leave him and he didn't even know. That wasn't the first time. I don't know if anybody else saw that. He didn't even. Yeah, he didn't even know, and then he reacted late and like I don't know. So Kurt, I feel I have some some people are against this one. So Richard saying one thing I like about what I saw today is better passing and just a few misplaced passes, but we'll get better. Yeah, it had some misplaced passes, but again, I think all in all, it wasn't bad. Okay? Zizurin on the inside. Jay-Z, my new facilitator striker. I think they ignored him, for a bit parts in the game. But he definitely came up big time. Right? I still prefer Mount over Scotty. I don't think it have a difference.
At this point,
I mean, you're not wrong because Mount does track back. Mount does track back and look to put in the shift, right? And this ain't going for Scott McTominay don't track back for shit, boy. So
it's true.
Yeah. Richard said I take in Mount in Rashford position today. I think Mount in Rashford position today would be better because in his defense he's out of position. I could be wrong, Phil. You're the analyst. Tell me. Phil, go ahead. Tell him.
So Mount was bought to be backup to Bruno, right? At the end of the day, we saw how Bruno was playing every single game for the last 2-3 seasons. So I guess Mount was brought in to be the backup to Bruno. However, Mount has played various positions while he was at Chelsea. He has played 8, he's played 10, he's played to the left and to the right, but that was in a system that was more fluid, right? I don't think United are at that level as yet until we become a bit more fluid and you know we can go we as a panel, we as fans can go from asking ourselves what type of football or what type of philosophy Manchester United is playing to I don't know 15 or 20 games from now saying you know what we're accustomed to this fluid football. Right now, we're not at that stage as yet. So experimenting with Mount on the left or the right is not the right thing to do. But until we get like playing fluid football, at the end of the day, let's be real. Fans of Arsenal, City, and Liverpool, they don't freak out over these. They don't gas themselves and freak out over the type of football they're playing because it's been instilled into Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool for the last 3-4 seasons now. So I think we need to get to that level first, though. So,
Yeah. For me, in terms of, I think at Chelsea when Monk played his best, I think that was under Lampard. Okay, I think that was under Lampard, and I think a lot of the football played through Monk.
Yeah.
I
correct.
think a lot of the football played through Monk. So at Manchester United, that would never happen. The football playing through Monk, and I think that is what he's struggling with because now he had to be, he had to put himself in position to hope to get a pass.
Yeah,
At
and
Chelsea,
don't forget
mm,
at Chelsea, the midfield was Kai Havertz and N'Golo Kante, I think. Yeah,
right.
so
Yeah.
So they would have been
they had their
winning the
roles.
ball. Yeah, so they would have winning the ball, playing it to him, and looking for him to play to him. But in Manchester United, he more or less has to put himself in a position and hope he get a pass.
Correct.
You know,
Yeah.
because nobody looking for you as the first pass. You will be the default pass. Bruno, Ahmad, Rashford, they might be the first go-to pass if a player is open. And if they see you, well, all right,
It's going to
nobody else
be
there. So,
it's going to be very
uh-huh.
difficult for you as a football player if you were the go-to guy. If you were a first team starter in your previous team, and now you come to a new team, it's going to be very difficult if you are not that same facilitator or that same first team starter, right? So
Yeah. Yes, I think that we're suffering with. I think maybe I don't know. Maybe he might come good. I don't want to write him off. But I guess a small team where he's the more of a focal point, I think he'll be much better. Yeah, but again, you never know, right? He could come good for us. I rated him off as yet. Scotty tried to take Jay-Z glory. Yeah, when that goal
it
go
wasn't.
in.
It was not
Yeah.
Scotty. It was the commentators, not Scotty. All of us
No,
thought it was Scotty.
nobody really looked like it was cut from the angle now.
Exactly, but it was the commentators. Commentators had us believing that Scott McTominay had scored. It's only when the cameras zoom in on Xerxes, like celebrating behind the
Yeah,
goal. It was,
yeah.
oh, okay,
Then
perfect. It was Xerxes that
yeah,
scored.
yeah, because again, Dream sent me a clip, where a guy was saying, yes, he may be glad for the goal, but thinking that McTominay score,
Yeah.
signing a maybe extension or saying for additional year, you're happy, but you're still sad, you know. So it's good for that it really wasn't McTominay. The CSP for that moment, you get that sweet but sour feeling, hey,
Yeah.
McTominay score, right? But then when you realize was Jay Z, you're definitely glad for the guy, scoring at the Stretford and on your debut in the 89th minute, through United we, that was
Yeah.
definitely, and it was much deserved. I think the victory
Definitely.
was much deserved.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so we are really. McTominay came on, and the Fulham fans were chanting, "He's our player."
That's it.
That made me smile. Yeah, just need either Napoli or Fulham to make me sleep peacefully. Yeah. I think our patience we displayed in the first half was commendable, right? When we were on top. and that's when the space opened and Bruno got the clear-cut chances. Second half, we lost all composure and patience. JP, I know if you want to touch on this.
Yeah, I agree with that because the first half we were in control of the game, and I will put it down probably to the first game of the season. You know, we're still getting over that preseason state. There's always see this in the first few games for every team where you start to see players run out of steam. I think that's what happened because we pressed really hard in our first half. I was very impressed with how we pressed Fulham because we were forcing them into a lot of errors. We were compacting the midfield. So the front line was doing their work defensively to really squeeze the play and win back the ball. And then the little patterns of play that they were seeing, the little touches, the runs people were making off the ball. We saw some really good football to me in the first half when we settled. Second half, I feel like that is when the game started to catch up to players, and then you saw more space, you saw a little more of the last season
The
football.
All United, yeah.
Yeah, because they were the midfield was more open. Maguire had to make a huge interception to save us. In one of the plays where it was him, I think it was 1v3.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was Maguire or it was oh yeah, it was
It
Maguire.
was Maguire, yeah.
It was Maguire, yeah.
Yeah, so the game started to get a stretch and it got away from us a bit in the second half. But I will put that down to first game of the season. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
get worried about it because the main thing is we did not concede.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, and we didn't, and not only not conceding, but we didn't give up plenty chances as well.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Kevin or Kerwin. Hey, good night to you, man. Kurt, hey, we should never, ever see Anthony on that pitch again in a Man United uniform. Ahmad and Garnacho are the guys for the flank, and when Ahmad went down, I swear we got the PK. Anthony that driving at players. Yeah, and to me, you're seeing every time Ahmad get a ball, he turning and going on the attack. You know, he's not afraid. You know, sometimes we used to question Sancho for that. You know, Sancho, every time he turning back and playing the ball back, and I think that was, a pet peeve of Ten Hag. You know, with your talent, with your quality, you're supposed to be going at players, and that's what you want. Right? That's what we have paid the big money for because that's a rare quality, for players to have that quality, that technique and that quality to beat a player, at full speed, and that what we pay the big money for, and he wasn't giving us that, and that is what Ahmad or even a Garnacho, they're willing to do every time, even a Rashford, willing to square up, take you for a run, so that definitely, working for Ahmad, especially, right? Going on the inside, you see that, and the social lights come out, the social media lights come out, the tree should have start, the lit should have start. Bruno has a false sign failure. Oh my goodness, right? Monks have to come on and play in them cup games. 100%. I agree with you with this one. I agree with you with this one.
That's the first comment I can actually relate to, man.
Yeah. It's because in Narco, when I agree they didn't. I agree maybe they didn't start or not starting, right? Them men didn't have any pre-minutes under their belt, but Mazwari did. Yeah.
Exactly,
I think the panel agrees with that as well. Cup games for Anthony too.
I agree.
Try Saudi na. Hey, good again, boy. Sal Anthony, you see what I'm saying? I rather see you play the cup games. Yeah, so we're switching up gears a little bit. And we really going and kind of single in or single out some of the performances today, and what we really enjoyed with some of the performances from, you don't have to be all the players, but you could choose your player, whichever player you really want to stand out, 1, 2, or 3, however much ever, good or bad, and talk about them, JP.
Well, I think I started with Maswari because he fall in a right back as if he was playing for United 2, 3 years now. He did. I like looking at it when the game now started. I was watching it on a small screen, so I wasn't sure. I was like, wait, who it is playing right back there? But because you're not seeing a new signing, it was just like a seamless transition into the team. He was very composed, made some great decisions. His passing to me, you saw the intelligence in some of the crosses that he was putting in as well into the box. I think the competition on that right back position, when we get proper left backs fit, will really be something that could push those players to reach the higher heights. On the same right side, I will say Ahmad and Ganacho as well. I think that again is another position where two players could really push each other to new heights because Ahmad hungry for it and Ganacho definitely hungry for it. He know about that bench. He
Nah,
don't want to lose
nah.
that soul, right? So he really going on and you
Push.
saw when he came on, you saw that he wanted to do something. He wanted to
Yeah.
make something happen. And Ahmad was the same. So I think that is the competition in those two positions very healthy, and it could only do well for the club because there's something in need. You need people to push it to be better because I have to mention Maguire.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maguire is a player 2 seasons ago. All of us were right to get rid of him. We gave him his praise last season. I was I was still saying if the right price come, we could sell him now. But seeing his performance today, Maguire is a player who really settled himself and keep putting in the work because the man was immense today. He was immense today, and he actually had to save Martinez from when Martinez dived in, and he was on the 1v3. Is his interception that kind of saved Martinez brushes when he made that mistake diving higher up the pitch. So to me, Maguire had to get a special mention for how good he was today.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Definitely agree with that. Phil?
Yeah. Before I echo what JP said, I was kind of confused at the comment that Kerwin made that Delit should have started today because I was like, nah. I mean, Maguire. My two standout players today were Maguire and Casemiro. I like Casemiro because there were some moments where he was pressing and it was sensible pressing, right? There wasn't much of the going to ground in terms of like looking to make a tackle because I know Casemiro was about that all of last season. Casemiro did have some chances to and some space to shoot in terms of like goal for goal. So if we can get the Casemiro that we signed in the first season, then I think we have a good chance of staying in the top four this season, right? I want to touch a little bit on Mazrari because I'm trying to find the right phrase or word to say it. Because when a fullback cuts into the midfield but uses his opposite foot, send it to the overlapper. I don't know if you guys can understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like Mazrari will cut into the midfield, so it's almost like he's almost looking to pass to somebody. So he's a right back. He cutting
On
in
the inside, yeah.
and he looking to pass to
But he
somebody.
passed on the outside.
But
Yeah.
that left foot that he passing on the outside, that is
Yeah.
such so smooth. It's so smooth to watch that because that's not one thing Wan-Bissaka gave us, right? When he's cutting it on the inside, then he just uses his left foot to pass it to the outside of the right winger. It's like, okay, I can get accustomed to this here at Manchester United, right? One thing you have to realize is that this pressing system that Ten Hag is looking to instill for this team, players are going to get tired, right?
Yes.
Imagine you just playing FIFA. I don't know who plays FIFA here, but imagine you just playing FIFA. You just holding down R2. You holding down R2 for an entire first half. Your players are going to go from green to orange to red. They are, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Mazrari, I definitely am looking forward to see what he can bring to this team this season. Amad Diallo. A couple seasons ago, when Amad Diallo scored against AC Milan in the Europa League, I thought like, okay, what's the reason we signed this guy? Because he was a bit feeble,
Fragile
yeah,
looking.
yeah, feeble, fragile. I don't think he had any like muscle on him, right? The Amad Diallo that I saw in preseason and even today is a different Amad Diallo. I see an Amad Diallo looking to stake his claim and to show everybody, United fans, Ten Hag, Rude, whoever, why I am going to remain starting on this right wing for the rest of the season. Right? So I'm so looking forward to this competition between Garnacho and also Ahmad, right? Marcus Rashford and Mason Mount. Boy. I don't know. I don't know what to say about those two, JP and Nico. I don't know what to say. Marcus Rashford. Imagine, it would be the perfect game because whenever Ahmad gets the ball, Ahmad is not going to pass back. Ahmad is going to look to take you on. He doesn't care who you are. He doesn't. He's going to take you on, right? The perfect game will be both wingers looking to take you on. I don't see that coming from Marcus Rashford. Remember back in the days in Bayern Munich when Bayern Munich had Robin and Ribery, and you were like, Jesus Christ! I as a fullback, I don't want to face any of these two. I imagine Robin and Ribery just switch wings. You're like, oh shit, here we go again, right? If we could just have Ahmad and Marcus Rashford both looking to take on opposition fullbacks.
So you didn't find Rashford did that today? I don't know why I get that feedback.
Not as much as Ahmad. As soon as Ahmad got the ball, Ahmad is running in spaces and looking to zigzag through players and what's not, right? And I didn't see that from Rashford. I maybe saw more of that from Rashford in the second half. But I didn't see that much from Rashford. I could give back to you guys again, but I just want to mention one player, right? Adama Traore beat Lisandro Martinez in one play today. One play. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I saw the mentality and strength of a future captain in Lisandro Martinez today. You pass me once, you can have that. And what happened afterwards, guys? Back to the gym he goes. Back to the gym Adama Traore goes. You got past Lisandro Martinez once. Once in 90 minutes. And nothing else afterwards. That's the sign of a true top class centre back. I done.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I definitely want to recognize Onana. Right? I think Onana in the air, balls in the air, going to catch the balls in the air. I think last season he was very shaky. I think for this game, I think he was real clean. I think he was real clean. And you felt, after it happened once, twice, you started to feel a bit of calmness that, all right, I think he have a handle on this. And I think he was real clean in handling the ball in the air. I think his distribution as well, was very sensible. All wasn't a long kick. So he played one where he actually threw it, and it almost created a chance. So
he threw it to Mazrari, right?
Yes, was Mazwari. I think Mazwari maybe played to Ahmad, and they created a chance. This is just by thinking. And to me, that is also what I saw a lot from Mazwari.
Yeah.
I was so impressed. You saw a player not just playing on instinct, but intelligence now.
Yeah.
Because it had some things that, let me say, sometimes me and you sing down and we sing, but it was so natural, so much common sense I just think Wan-Bissaka to do this, but you know he do why.
Yeah.
Early in the game, I saw where somebody cut back on the top.
Did a Mazrari make so the same play where Adama Traore beat Casemiro and
Yes,
Alessandro
yes, that
Martinez.
is the player I'm
Mazrari
gonna
was there.
talk about.
Mazrari was there to clean up.
Yeah.
Because he was reading the game.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just about physicality and running down a man and throwing your body, but reading the game and understand, hey, most likely the ball going and fall to him because he's the only player in the area of danger, right? So let me go and close that space. If it was actually if it was Wan-Bissaka, he looking to mark space, and hoping, well, all right, well, if the ball come across, I'll clear it, and not really. I mean, I know Wan-Bissaka was a great servant, but you saw the levels today, and it was stark. You saw the levels today between, the IQ of both players, the calmness, the quality, and the ball. Mazwari didn't lose that ball once earlier in possession.
That's true.
Maybe coming down late in the second half when he started to tire, he may make one mistake. But in possession, which to me is Ten Hag's game, that his defender should be comfortable in possession. His defender should be comfortable to say, here, what? I could fall into the midfield, and create an extra body in the midfield and be able to play a pass from the midfield comfortably, and we know Dalot has been doing that. We've seen Mazwari doing that. So definitely Mazwari was I mean, and then let me say, if whenever the left back position secured or Shaw or whoever is there, is what our competition gonna be like on the right side now.
Yeah.
So, and you definitely would question who might be a starting right back. Dalot has been good, but I guess Mazwari has something different. The only thing for me with Mazwari is physicality or physically. I don't know if he will stand up to the Premier League, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But in terms of physicality, I don't know. And then the history of him, he had some injuries in the past, picked up a lot of injuries. But he was definitely a better fresh air today, right? So I bring in Chef, right? So let me get some comments.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. While
Good
Chef
night.
catches
Apologies for my lateness.
right? So Kerwin again saying, I guess we have some different views with Kerwin, but we accept all the same, right? So he say Rashford, I feeling could be on the verge of being dropped or sell for 80 million. I don't know where you get any information from, but I guess you could share that information with us as well, right? Kerwin again says Sancho, I don't know. I don't know. The only person I think of that is PSG or Saudi, and that's happening. He ain't going nowhere. Right? Sancho for Ugarte, I guess 40 million in cash. Yeah, I would take that, to be honest. I think most of us would be with you there. Right? Kurt saying, I have to admit, Rashford becoming selfless. That opportunity in the dying minutes to score, and he's creating that show. Right? Old Rashi was taking that shot and busting the bag.
No, I wouldn't say selfless. I would say low on confidence. A confident Rashford was taking that.
I don't know. I don't know. I think we could have it could be a mixed bag, because I just saying, if it is, let me say, in terms of rude minister, in terms of the training, saying a pass to the person in better position.
Okay.
Better option.
Then to me, the better option. Then to me, that means the training taking effect now.
I can take that.
Yeah, because Garnacho was in the better position.
Yeah.
That's the tap it in. And maybe even, I mean, because this team has been so selfish over the years, Garnacho and all in his head would I say, by he went and shoot.
Yeah.
So Garnacho was surprised.
He wasn't prepared.
That ball come over. You know? So I guess you know what I mean. It has different opinions, but
Yeah,
I
good
could
point.
accept
Good
it as
point.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So when I get Maguire will be a squad player till the contract run out. You
I
know,
don't mind him.
right?
I don't
No, I'm
mind
saying
having yeah.
yeah because and then to because if you look at the performance today, if it had to have a rotation and he comes in, we could not be
At that
worried now.
level. Yeah, at
You
that
know,
level we could feel safe if we play at that level.
yeah. Yeah. Could say Maguire still needs to stop pulling and grabbing men. I
Yeah.
hate to see you
Yeah.
do that, boy. Yeah. So, Chef, as you're fresh on the inside, let me know your feeling. As we say, 3 points in the bag, first game of the season, the whole world, looking at Old Trafford, the whole world expecting us, um, not to
Improvement.
come out of the traps, right? And then Zertsky in the 89th minute in the old Trafford style, old Manchester United style, bursting it in the 90th minute and send the whole of the Stretford in chaos. What's your thoughts?
And the Manchester United fans
Mm.
internationally.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, the performance wasn't bad, The performance wasn't bad. We take a little bit uh, time to get into the game, if you want to call it that. But even with that, if we had put away our chances and stuff, that game could have finished a long time. But generally, I like to see we press, boy. I like to see we um really show effort. Listen, it had two players, Mount and Rashford, with us killer, but them fellas really do the little things, boy. Them Marcus, me and Marcus does get thing for sometimes his work ethic at the best, but he might not score and he didn't get the assist and thing, but Dan, when you see Marcus, I see Marcus did a gap break and Marcus rush on. If he did foul the guy, but he got back into the play. And I watched Mark. That was I think was Traore. And I watched and I think how much
Mm.
players could run down Traore, Marcus being one of them. And he come back. That I watched that and I say, boy, this is the kind of effort. So we still again nothing will change overnight, but at least what we keep on saying in the podcast is we just want to see a direction of things. We just want to see
Yeah.
little things changing. And if we could get them little things, and not taking it away. Fulham had the little that thing with that 2-1 on 1-on-2, 1-on-3. But credit to the defenders who didn't give up on it. Harry Maguire, boy, who didn't
Yeah.
give up on the play and them, and we get through to the end. Big up to the
Yeah.
youth man on debut. That was a nice finish,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
For sure.
yeah, that was a nice finish, and this season uh, I have a let me just call it a racket coverage. So I get in before the game from different angles and after the game and I watch how Roy Keane was really
Mm.
impressed with the youth man finish. And yeah, it was a nice finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, big up
Yeah.
to the team for that one.
Yeah, so we are Kurt again talking about same thing I was talking about. I never see Casimir do that kind of pressing, but
That's
I
not
guess
true.
with better players around him,
That's
he
not true.
doesn't have to work as hard as before and get skin out. I guess what he could be talking about as well is last season our press was so out of sync
Yep,
that
Yeah.
even if a player was pressing out his life, it looked
yep.
like he doing nonsense,
But when you watch, and this is just based on watching Casimiro
Mhm.
into this season now start, then how much pounds Casimiro lose?
Nah,
Exactly.
Casimiro is
Casimiro.
looking
We say
fit.
we say the nature what the Herbalife.
The Herbalife walk though.
Hey, yes,
Big up to Casimiro. Bro.
yeah, for sure. Right, Kowitsin again, Mazuari played great today.
He did
Yeah,
proper
yeah,
debut.
yeah.
Proper debut.
Yeah, playing sim right on the YouTube channel, right on the YouTube platform. Thank you for your comment. Phil Wright on the pressing um, contributes to the fatigue, but this is exactly why we need to be more clinical when those turnovers give us great scoring opportunities. And
Yeah.
I agree with that because
Yeah.
that high pressing, because even we saw when Zuski came on with his high energy, and the man big earlier, when I
He
watching
did you all realize he was that big?
I didn't
nobody.
When
realize
I
that.
when I when I watch some clips on YouTube, they say he's 6'4", but he's moving like a little midget.
Dan, I had no idea he was so
Yeah,
big and tall.
Yeah,
that
boy,
man's
Yeah.
big.
oh,
And put the height aside, but he's broad. He's
Yeah.
broad.
Yes,
I
I
did
tell
not
you,
know that.
the man
Yeah.
big. So,
But
well, I
he's
mean,
very
so, and then
agile
you
for his
saw,
size too.
yeah, but then you saw he came on with that high energy, and I was worried that because we know that then I was talking about the fitness now. And with
Yeah,
that high energy he was putting out, I was seeing him tiring,
yeah.
And so again, in terms of the pressing, it could definitely contribute to the
So
fatigue.
it does. So
You
if
really
you
want to
think about
control
it,
the
it does
football.
make sense what Ten Hag was saying about not only him but other players coming
Mhm.
up to scratch, because this point about the pressing contributes. It does, but understand something. If you want to play a certain style, then your training methods and everything
Mhm.
will streamline towards that. So the team
Yeah.
might team fitness wise probably working towards this kind of
That
pressing, because
pressing.
listen, the harass the hell out of Fulham, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and well, I mean the possession, especially in the first half when we took over, we were in Fulham couldn't come out of the half,
Nope.
Yeah.
and we were just trying to break them down because Fulham, well drilled team, compact, we was trying to break them down, and
We talk about Fulham
we
last
created good
season.
chances. We
They
created
are a
chances,
very
and
well drilled
this,
team.
our
mm,
team last season against Fulham, we got roasted.
Yep.
Yeah.
It
We,
was
yeah,
we
three.
talk about that.
It was 2-1 where they scored
yeah,
in the dying minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's when and here's the thing. That game we get roasted in, that was one of Harry Maguire's best games. Like Harry Maguire even scored in that game. But this
Oh, yeah.
game
True.
today
Yeah,
versus
yeah,
Fulham,
yeah.
yeah, the pressing,
Mm,
and I got to point out one thing. Before, when we tried to press, it was just one player. That was Bruno. So Bruno will be pressing, pressing, pressing. And when Bruno looked behind him, he
Oh,
realized the
yes.
players are not doing the same thing as
mm,
him, right?
Yeah.
Once you have 4 or 5 players up top pressing together, it looks
Mm-hmm.
more disciplined, right?
Yeah.
There's no one headless chicken. There's actually a bunch of players on the same page looking to press
Yeah.
that position, right? I
Agreed.
I'll be honest. I cannot think of any time Fulham was a threat to us today. I cannot.
no, no, only on the counter. Only on the
Only,
counter when they
only,
get
only,
the one or two chances on the counter.
yeah.
Otherwise,
And
during the
really and
game,
truly, those those were our little mistakes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Gave
Yeah.
them those chances. But
yeah,
to say Fulham carve us open,
No, I
the
didn't.
one time we could say that was when Traore catch Martinez, and
Mm-hmm.
then Martinez would say, "But you ain't gonna get a next chance to do me that." And Martinez
Yeah.
close up on that big greasy clown one time.
yeah. I could say this is a do or die for Rashford. JP, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, because we can't keep it in topsy too. Be a hot one
No,
season, a cold the next. So I think
Mhm.
and what I am seeing is with the team now, you have a team playing football. So we're not really looking to rely on one person to do a brilliant thing to win us a game. So Rashford is support of a team playing football and they creating opportunities now. It's not just like last season where Rasmus, when he went on his goal scoring streak, Rasmus was creating goals for himself when he was
Yeah,
scoring.
yeah, yeah.
So now we've seen a team actually creating some. It was from preseason, so I'm not getting carried away about today's game alone. From
Hmm.
preseason, we started to see where they're creating more chances. You're seeing the patterns of play that will facilitate players getting chances to score. So all Rashford has to do now is take his chances. If he doesn't, you have hungry players like Garnacho. If the competition too stiff between him and Ahmad and Rashford playing the fool, we will just see
Yeah.
Garnacho on the left of it.
Yeah,
That's all.
because that the position Ganacho want the left.
That's
Is
what
the
he
left
like.
Ganacho one?
That's what he like. Yeah,
Because
so
he
if
want to
Rashford
come
plays
in
the
on
fool,
that right foot and just shoot.
of course. So if Rashford play the fool, Garnacho will get a pick because Ahmad is the next one. He not giving up that pick easy too. He fighting
Yeah.
fit. So the competition healthy and players had to use that to their advantage. I had to step up when I out there. So if
Yeah.
Rashford, as one of the senior players now, in terms of age as well, because we have a very young squad now, so he's one of the senior players, not just in terms of how long he had the club, but at his age now too,
Yeah.
where he had to put on his head and do what he needs to do. And I'm not worried about him right now, because I think I seeing him, he's simplifying his game a little bit for now. He's trying to be calmer on the ball, make better decisions with his passing, and he's still attacking the fullback as well. So I think he just need an early goal this season. And I think that will get him five.
I got, I got,
Yeah.
you got some you said, Nico, with regards to Garnacho wanting to be on the left. I guess slightly agree and disagree with you. If you go back to when United played Aston Villa at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Garnacho was playing on the right. This is where the iconic him sitting on the edge with
Yeah.
Jan Rasmus Højlund. That was really iconic. Picture came from, right? You saw Garnacho just looking to cut in on the left foot and shoot, right? Garnacho also did the same thing versus City in the Community Shield just now, right?
Yeah.
I think Garnacho is making the right side his own. We initially thought that Garnacho wanted to play on the left so he can cut in on his stronger foot, right? But Garnacho is saying, you know what, F this. I'm going to play on the right side and I'm going to use my left foot to score goals, which he has been doing since last season, right? If Garnacho is called to play on the left, good. But I, it's not one of those instances where player A is more confident on the left, but if player A goes on the right, I don't feel comfortable, right? I have the utmost confidence that Garnacho can do a job on the right or on the left, right?
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
and that's the place we want to be, right? That's the
That's where we
place
want to be.
that's the place we want to be. We want to have the as a multifaceted player who we could put anywhere, And I mean, definitely we had a whole team of players who could do that. But you
Yeah,
have, a few players in your team who could do that comfortable anywhere. Then
I think it was two
opposing
players that it
defenders,
was two players
you
that could do
know,
that is Dalo and Garnacho.
yeah,
Yeah.
then opposing defenders, they would have it hard. So that is definitely a plus for us. Playing Sim again saying wasting all the hard work with poor finishing. Got a new signing can finish. Yeah, and we say that as well, right? Because when you're playing all that hard work, and then so,
Before you go to the comments,
mhm,
playing Sim, you're right. Don't get me wrong, you're right. But for some reason, last season we were watching United, and I think most games we were asking ourselves, where this goal going to come from?
Yeah.
We were.
yeah,
I think in today's match, we saw chances given to us. So I can see us converting those chances in the future. I can,
Yeah.
right?
Agreed.
yeah,
But last season, the 87th minute, the 77th minute, whatever minute, you asking yourself, who on
Where
this
the
team
yeah,
going
goal
to
yeah,
score a
coming
goal?
from?
yeah.
Where the next goal coming
Mhm,
from?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
So
Agreed.
my point on this was that what could happen is when you put in all the hard work and then you get a sucker punch, the next team scoring.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that does take the win out of you. You're
Yeah.
It
putting in
does.
all that effort, at least to get on the score sheet, and then boom, a counter attack. Somebody make a foolish pass, a goalkeeping blunder, and the next team score. Especially like last season, unknowing where the goal's coming from. I think that sucker punch used to really hit us hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Yeah. Because again, if Amado Garnacho start on either flank, you can see both of them taking on players that have them quaking, right? Because with either one of them, you don't know if they're cutting inside or going down the flank. And I guess that is why Anthony is where he is right now, right?
And he could stay right there.
Yeah. Onana have to be the light on the fufu, and I don't know what it means, but and the pong that
Fufu and pong yam is like let me say it's like mash provision is African dish.
Yeah.
All right. Because you
It's basically
still
what it is. Eat all
diving,
the stews with.
you still diving like a dumpling heavy. I don't find so. I mean, it had one play. It had one play where Maguire holding off about 3 men, like man.
That was the only he could have come to that.
Yeah.
He could have come. I find he could have come to that quicker.
Yeah.
But outside of that, Onana had a pretty decent game. Distribution was good. Onana actually start a couple of counters with his distribution properly too.
Yeah.
And he had a couple of very smart saves.
Yeah.
So what we talking about in terms of diving like a dog? It's one game, you know.
Kurt, we see that one today. Don't try that. I feel you only take any highlights, you know. I feel you want them highlights.
Manchester fans from hell, yes.
Hey. Good said even young Amas are stuck in as well in preseason to create extra.
Oh God. We talk about people who play today now.
Right?
Must talk about your man and them, eh?
Yeah, that little change is the 1% that Brailsford working on. All right. Hey Dwayne, good night, man.
What doing? Good night, brother.
Yeah, a lot of people giving Rashi stick, but I actually think he had a good game.
Because I honestly think too. I feel in everybody. I just come the hardest at Marcus, and you know why? It's because I really like Marcus, you know, and I just find that boy has so much potential that he should be doing better, you know. So if I could say that Marcus didn't score, he didn't get an assist, but Marcus had a decent game.
Yes. Yeah, he simplified his game as JP said, and you know what I mean, it was a more intelligent, measured performance, you know.
Let me be cool now. The season now starts, yo.
Yeah, we are critical of our finishing today, right? But we have to give Leno some props. We make him look so.
You see them chances, especially Bruno chances. Standing at the front there, Bruno would have a hat trick easy today.
I don't know how Casemiro find Bruno, boy. I do not know.
That
was a
what a pass, boy.
I do not know how Casemiro find Bruno there, but good Lord, Casemiro.
He was supposed to
Listen.
You know who would have finished that and Rimger smile? Martial would have finished that real nice.
Yeah. That Martial kind of goal.
Composure over the keeper.
That game chip over the keeper. So nice.
Yeah.
Then again too, he might have been injured and couldn't be this. So yeah.
But I'd say when Bruno fell back in the number 10 position, it had a ball that he played to Rashford earlier.
Yes.
Way.
Daddy from just
ball.
on the that was what on the left hand side, just outside our defense.
I think that was the chance when Monk missed.
Bruno put that ball. Oh yeah, we does say Bruno does want to try the extravagant, but Bruno has some passes in his locker.
Yeah, boy.
Come on, boy.
Nah, that was a different kind of gravy, boy.
Yeah.
That pass was worth admission fee.
Yep. That pass deserves a goal.
But I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Not in this game, Nico. Yeah, you're backtracking now.
Okay,
Right?
okay.
God, let me deal with the game now.
Yeah, I refer to another preseason games. Oh, Kurt, stop it now. Stop it. Stop it. Right? All I notice Marcus making some sweet crossfield passes from
Yeah.
preseason games. Right. You just get the highlights, real specialist. Yeah. Right? Gunman would have finished them Bruno chances. Who's the gunman? I don't know.
Greenwood.
Oh, no. I feel is I think it's
Martial.
Lipski. I don't know. Is
Nah,
it
it's
Lipski for
Greenwood you
after?
talking about.
I got a feeling
All
maybe
right, right.
Greenwood though.
It's Greenwood.
Greenwood could be.
Oh, Greenwood, yes.
Yeah. So although I mean keeping it real tight, right? I think we're almost to the end of the review. Any changes for next game, Chef?
I want to say Mount, but I want to give him my next game.
Hmm. Anybody any comments? Let me know your comments, right? Let me know your comments if any changes.
Outside
For the next
of
game,
that,
Brighton, and I is Brighton away, right? So
right, away.
Brighton away. JP, any changes?
I Mount had a strong enough. So if you understand. Sorry. Mount had to come on and
Yeah.
prove himself because he get a chance today. He get a chance today and find out. He press. But that's not what we have Mount in the team for. That's not all we have in the team. That energy, that is not all. We don't need just that energy pressing. We need more end product from, and that's what we're not seeing.
We need the end product.
Yeah, Xerxes, he is a proper 9.5, but I really like what he brought when he came on. The way he just flew it in the front there, boy. He could put in anywhere. And I think he will do well with Bruno next to him. So yeah. One thing though, I realize that our pastor will mention Kobe Maples,
Yeah. No, but that's good. That's good, eh? That's good
that's
because
what I want to say. That's what I
yeah,
want to
because
say.
he was simple.
Solid
Yes.
game.
Agreed. It had no fault. You didn't light the. You didn't light up the world, but he was
But he
solid.
did nothing wrong. Yes,
He did nothing wrong. Yeah.
This guy's still feel they're using Mount wrong. I want him.
And I will Phil to touch on that one. Phil.
Yeah.
Any changes to today's lineup for Brighton, and what do you think about this comment here? You think we still using Mount wrong?
I just gonna echo a little of what JP said, right? I have a slight feeling that Bruno and Xerxes may work better versus Bruno and Mount. I have a slight feeling, but I'm willing to give Mount another game to start with Bruno in the false nine, right? Because don't forget this false nine worked well versus City in the FA Cup final, right? It was a very disciplined performance. I'm willing to give Mount another game. So I would not make any changes. Hard. I can't think of anybody who put a foot wrong today per se. I don't. Right? If you're on a nitpick, maybe one or two giveaways, but other than that, I can't really think of anybody that put a foot wrong today. Now, if Ten Hag chooses to start Xerxes with Bruno in the 10 and Mount on the bench, I can understand why. But if he chooses to start Bruno in the false 9 and Mount in the 10, I can also understand why as well. Right? So
Yeah. So we have Kurt saying I could see the backline changing, maybe delete for Maguire, even though he had a good game. Jay-Z for Mount. Right?
Great game. So I can't see that.
Yeah.
If Maguire had played shit today, then I'd be like, yeah, okay, that definitely delay gonna start next game, right? But Maguire was pretty solid today.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
And Ten Hag is not the type of coach going and change a man after he had a decent. He's not. That's not him. That is basically changing for changing sake.
Yeah. Right. Monk was brilliant on the left at Chelsea. Right. But I think we touched on that earlier. Andy. Right. Kurt saying I agree. That's not his game. All right. I think we cannot touch on that. Big up for being live. Okay. Big up for being live. Oh, at this in the UK. Oh,
Well
in the
done
UK.
to you.
We need, yeah, but okay, he's up.
Big up to Bill.
Yeah, big up to you, man. Big up to you for winning Caribbean.
Big man.
True,
You know,
3
you
o'clock
five.
in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, you 5 hours ahead. Hey.
Boy. Good Lord.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Nah,
That's
Steven,
saying good things
Steven,
for United.
I feel you went partying and the party ended early. You can't.
I feel so.
I feel you went partying, Steven. That's what.
Thanks for your comments. Thanks for your comment the same way. And after all United games, All In on United is live. From 9 p.m. Caribbean time, right? So you could tune in whenever the party bus, and you want something to make up the time. Definitely you could tune in to us. So again, guys, I guess we had all in all, it was a good first game of the season. I think it was a good workout as well. I think definitely some of the players got some little muscle aches, out of the hard work today. But I think what working for us as well was the Friday game.
Yeah.
The Friday game would have worked for us. I think our next game was the Saturday, or I think it's Saturday is our next game. But anyhow you take it, you're still having an extra day or two than the other team. So I think we put in the effort today, and I think the win, we really relish the rest, and also the recovery and the preparation, for the next game we could be in a more quality preparation, with that extra time for the next game. In the past, I know we used to say, we used to get our rest hoping players coming out firing and they're coming out worse than in the past, right? Or the past game. So we hope that this time we really take it, really try to embed certain principles. Tenag does talk about patterns of play. We talk about that players understanding each other a little better. But we saw where Zerski was making runs, making plays, but it looked like the team was ignoring him a bit, right? So hopefully them little kinks iron out where players understand each other now a little better. So I guess that would be done during the whole season. But we hope that it work even more between now and Brighton, because we know Brighton is not a easy nut to crack, right? So until the next one, right? Have a good night.
Peace.
Yeah, man.
All right.